all sorts of language in the Bible that talks about, it describes it as dying and coming back to life as a new person in Jesus. And that's what it's all centered around.
It almost seems like dying and then in transformation are much more about real life than maybe theological debates.
Which is why I really like the question. I feel like we could talk theology all day long, but it's really interesting when we talk about our person, like our who we are and who Christ is to us, like when we make it like personal.
The truth is that I'm a really emotional person, and that when I think long, hard, and seriously about what Jesus did for me, I basically fall apart. And so it's a beautiful, sad, uncomfortable place to be. But I think that, I don't know who said it. If the devil can't make you sin, he'll make you busy. And I'm so busy.
Our avoidance of our own mortality and pretending that we're not all in the process of dying. And then occasionally someone dies and we have to go to a funeral and we have to look at it for a few hours. I mean, are we in avoidance of the big issues anyway?
Well, Hope was saying that freedom was the thing that she kept coming to when she read Galatians this week. And I totally agree, but I also feel like we have such a responsibility with that freedom. We weren't given the freedom as Christ followers. Like, the freedom we're speaking of is not just the, United States of America freedom, the freedom in Christ that Paul's referring to in chapter 5, when he's like, don't use your freedom to indulge the flesh, rather serve one another humbly in love. If you use that freedom to serve others instead of to be like an indulgent toddler, then I think that would help center us on who gave us that freedom and what he had to do to give it to us.
Why is it so easy to lapse into division? And why is it so much work to engage in unity?
This new set of Messiah believers had no other way of exempting themselves from Roman pagan worship except to use the permissions given to the Jews. So as soon as they start calling themselves, the Gentiles start calling themselves part of the Jews, the Jewish people are hurt and offended because they are not just a faith, they're a people group chosen by God. And they're like, wait a minute. I'm so glad that you believe in Jesus, but you're not a Jew. I'm a Jew. And there are still a whole lot of people who are saying, we're us and you're you. So across the board, politically, we're separated, and ethnically, we're separated. And even inside of our own faith, we are separated. And so I think that it's not surprising that this happened. And I think it's still happening today.
I think that all of what you just said can be summed up with that we are naturally prideful, and it's really hard to be humble. But if you are humble, you will connect with people that are different from you.
Which, not to pick on NT Red again, but he makes he's like, heaven forbid we should ever say that this has anything to do with racism, which, like, I get that he's establishing that this is about so much more than race. But I don't think that we have to say that this doesn't have anything to do with racism, in that it's an us versus them, our way is better than your way is part of the issue that's being addressed here. And it's always been part of the human condition. It's not unique to our country.
Yeah. When you see Christians of different cultures, different colors, what does that do to you?
That's heaven on earth, especially all in one room and singing in different languages. And there's been such a nationalism within the church in America that it's always like, oh yeah, like Christianity is not white and not English. And it also really makes me look forward to heaven, where all of the tribes and all of the languages and the colors will be represented, and there won't be an us versus them, there will be unity. And I would like to see more of that reflected now.
I think worship is awesome no matter where you are.
Yeah.
But that didn't hit me as much as just their belief that I don't know, their faith in God, that they have so much more problems than we do here. And they're so much more faithful than a lot of the people here. I think that's what struck me the most.
Sometimes when we suffer together, it brings us closer. And that's probably why Michael witnessed the faith he witnessed in Africa, because their plight is so much different than ours. I bet it was just beautiful. I mean, not their plight, but their faith.
Mhm.
I think
Michael-
Americans have a real problem thinking about Jesus as a Jewish man in the Middle East. We imagine everybody is like us.
Just feels
Right.
like he could be writing this to us today. Like sometimes, sometimes when I read the Bible, I'm like, how much of this is completely apropos for right here and right now? And I feel like this whole letter is, and I think it seems like we're heading toward, in this last little bit of discussion, like when you get deeper into chapter 3 and he talks about no Jew, no Greek, there's no separation in Christ. Stop being so busy trying to divide yourself and faction yourself, because there aren't factions under the gospel. There's not division under Christ. And we're supposed to be inviting people into this, and we can't even have a decent family meeting. Like, you got to get your crap together before you invite company over. Like, this is not what we're trying to be about, and this is not your best invitation to others who deserve to know about the Messiah just as much as you.